Last time in Retrospect. Today I am in the Mushroom Kingdom on a nice vacation.
What are you doing?
But he's not quite defeated yet. He's fled to the dark abyss we know as Super Mario Bros. 2. And now the continuation. Just like with the last review, I'm going to count the All-Star version for this review. Honestly, the game has less of a story than the first game. You're in some kind of weird-ass place killing monsters you've never even seen before in the first game. Nothing makes sense. But then there's the instruction booklet to the rescue! Yes, this game needs the instruction booklet to tell the story. Rather pathetic. This is roughly what it says. Mario has a dream where he finds his dreamland of Subcon. When he wakes up the next morning, he tells Luigi, Toad and the princess about it, and they had the same dream. After that, they conveniently find the door that takes them to... take a guess? Subcon! Yeah, that's about all there is to it. They have to defeat some kind of frog dude. There's just something with Mario and mutated animals. The story is somehow even worse than the one in the first Mario game, so I will just give it a 3 out of 10, especially because the game itself doesn't even mention any of this. Like in the last game, the 16-bit sprites look nice and pleasing, but there's something this game does really well, and that's visually representing you're in a different world. Unlike Mario Bros. 1, where all the worlds look pretty much the same, this game actually has different looks and designs to tell you, hey, you're in another world! One of my favorite sprites in the game has to be Toad. I don't know why, and I know it's pretty damn useless information, but I just like his sprite. There's not much more to say about the graphics other than they're really nice. I have to give the graphics a 9 out of 10, and that would really only be because sometimes I reuse things like there being 2 desert worlds. This is where the review gets interesting. The gameplay is nothing like the original Mario Bros. For starters, you actually have a brand new HP system where you have 2 hearts, and when you get hit, you lose a heart. You can also find additional hearts on each level to be able to endure more hits, although you lose those extra hearts at the end of each stage. Talking about secrets, in the secret areas where you find the hearts, you can also find coins, which are used at the end of the stage in some kind of spinning slot machine. The slot machine can give you extra lives, which helps you out a lot. The more coins you have, the more spins you have. Obviously, that results in you getting more lives. Dealing with enemies is also different. You don't just jump on them, it won't do a thing. You actually have to throw stuff at them. Anything from seeds to vegetables to, well, other enemies. Yes, you can actually pick up enemies when you're standing on top of them. Makes for a much more interesting gameplay experience than just jumping on them. The stages don't have timers anymore either, so feel free to explore anything you want, and unlike in the first game, the screen actually scrolls back, so you can explore if you want to. You think that sounds good? Well, listen up. You're able to play as 4 different characters. You can play as Mario, Luigi, Toad and the princess, all of them having strengths and weaknesses. Mario is pretty much the balanced character. He's pretty fast, he's pretty decent at jumping, but nothing special. Luigi on the other hand is really much slow, but he's a much bigger jump and even lasts a while in the air, kinda like Yoshi these days does. Then there's Toad. His jump is terrible, but he can dig up vegetables much quicker, and when he's carrying something, his speed actually increases other than the other characters, which slow down. The princess is also rather slow, but she can hover in the air for a while after she jumps, making her a really extremely good and almost broken character. The only complaint I have about this game, that is when you're on 1 heart, you shrink into the small version of your character, but you still have the same hitbox as before, which means that you will not be able to dodge things flying over you. I'll give the gameplay a 9 out of 10, it's pretty damn near perfection. Playing through the game I spent about 5 hours from start to finish, but the fact that you have 4 characters means that you can play through this game a number of times, because each character may be able to get to places or shortcuts you couldn't get to as another character. So there's a good 15 to 20 hours in this game if you enjoy that, but for me I'll just leave it at the 5 hours I spent recording this footage. For length, the game gets a 7 out of 10. The music is just like the first Mario game. Nothing too outstanding or amazing, but it's good for adding on to the experience and the atmosphere. I won't really need to explain myself again, as I've already stated all of this in the Super Mario Bros. Review. But yeah, same story, same rating, 7 out of 10. Almost each stage has a mini-boss, which is Birdo. It's not as boring and still as the fights against Bowser, because there's a number of different types of Birdo. with also more interesting areas to battle her on. And that's just the mini bosses. The actual bosses have some variety too. There's a couple of them that repeat and that's still rather forgettable, but it's a big step up from Bowser. So this again gets a 7 out of 10. That leaves us with a 7 out of 10. This game is great if you don't care about the story. The gameplay is downright near perfect and it's just fun to play. Yeah, sometimes that's important in games. You know, it's strange, we haven't seen Bowser at all today. I could have sworn he fled to Super Mario Bros. 2. Wait, what? This isn't Super Mario Bros. 2? You're telling me this is actually a Mario reskin of the Japanese game Yumi Yoko Doki Doki Panic? Sorry for the pronunciation, by the way. But where do I find the real Super Mario Bros. 2? I have to find it. Check in with me next time in my search after Bowser. We've wasted so much time here today. But you know, the fact that this is a different game explains why it's so damn good.